I guess I am optimistic. I think that it's possible. But one of the things that I see as being tantamount and to the possibility of seeing things in a new way is the ability to drop our notions of authority and expertise. It's important to have experts. It's important to have a sense of credibility around what it is that we're talking about. But we have to also not know. And there's a kind of humility and a sort of, right now, an existing hubris and arrogance that is making it impossible for us to share perspectives. The vocabulary and the rhetoric of our most incredible minds is blocked from really being able to share perspective, because you can't speak to something that you don't have any expertise in with authority, right? You can't. It's not allowed. And how are we going to have conversations that can get to the question of how do we integrate before we can do that? So the key, I think, is mutual learning. To remember that evolution happens in the context, and that means that my learning affects your learning, affects the learning of wherever we are, and that honestly nature's learning too. We're not in this alone. So there's, in the question of hope, it's partially about us, but it's also what are we able to learn from the system around us that is also learning. And we are part of that larger ecology. No matter how much we'd like to think we're not part of it, and that larger ecology is learning. So are we.
The crisis is part of the same process of learning.
The crisis is, it has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be, right.
Yeah.
So that's why I wonder sometimes, what in the world is pathology? If the pathology is there because it's going to be an indicator of change, then does that mean there's something wrong?
Well, it might not be wrong, it was just necessary.
Necessary, very uncomfortable.
Very
certainly.
uncomfortable, certainly, yeah.
So I don't know. So I'm wondering about that. Is this a crisis, or is this just what it takes to get to the next level of being able to see another layer?